Right, hello, this is going to be a very random blog. There's going to be various bits and pieces that I'm going to talk about. First of all, I'd like to say that honesty is the best policy. I don't believe that we should be on blogs and talking about something and, well, valid opinions maybe, but I don't think we should be coming onto blogs and telling things that are lies. I think honesty is the best policy, and as I've said in previous blogs, and I've had my opinions, I stick to them, and if nobody likes them, then it's a big to you, because I have opinions, we're allowed opinions. Honesty is the best policy, that's what I believe when I speak to people, and if I don't like things I do that, because I did that at Christmas before. I've had a Christmas present and I've told somebody I don't like it. I've just said, look, I don't like it. You know, I'm not sitting there and saying that I'm going to open a Christmas present and say I hate it, because I absolutely believe that honesty is the best policy, and I always believe that. So I've always, So anyway, moving on. Anything about Jade Goody? I'm not really a big fan of Jade Goody. Oh, hang on a minute. Before I go on to Jade Goody, I want to say something about Americans, about the honesty is the best policy. Many years ago, I never used to really be into Americans, but all of a sudden, I've really gotten to like them a little bit more. Because I speak to a few Americans, and, they're my friends, and I just think that it's cool to speak to them and find out a little bit about their language, and the words that they use that we don't use, like sidewalks and things like that, the way they say pants and chips and things like that. So I've really gotten into that. So I don't hate the Americans as bad as I used to, but I certainly don't think that they're the greatest country in the world either. But anyway, moving on. Jade Goody. I'm not really a big fan of Jade Goody, and my mum said my mum says she's a greedy pig, and I believe with my mum that she is a greedy pig. I mean, she's selling the story not only to one newspaper but to various other sources and that. And it's like she got married and she didn't want to get married on the sly. It's not like we're just going to get married in a quiet place, where it's low key. No, no, no. I have to sell my story to the OK magazine, because I've got an idea. I'd like to have the money. I'd like to be a greedy pig and have the money. Well, I can't believe that. I'll tell you one thing. I know it might be sad to a lot of people, but I'll tell you one thing. I really can't wait till Jade Goody dies, because then we can just get over her. We can forget about her and get over her, because all you ever get in the papers now, I've got cancer, get me out of this pain, I'm dying. Oh please, you're not the only one, and you're getting money for it, you greedy pig, Jade Goody, as my mum says. The sooner she goes, the better. I know. If she didn't have cancer and that, I wouldn't matter. I wouldn't matter if she stayed alive, because But she got cancer. She's gonna die. But the quicker she goes, the better, because then we don't have to worry about her being in the paper. Apart from the fact that it's the funeral of Jade Goody. Anyway, like Jade Goody's husband. He's no angel either. But there you go. See, honesty is the best policy. On my little bits and pieces, but there you go. What else? Girls, slutty, just because I get told that, well, basically I speak to somebody, they were saying about wearing a short skirt and a top. Basically, she thinks it's slutty, and things revolving around it, And I just don't think that's right, because personally, just because a girl chooses to wear short skirts and top, it doesn't mean they're slutty, because they can wear a t-shirt or whatever, and it doesn't mean that they're going to be slutty. So that's something to be add. And I just think that people think that certain things are connected, like the way prostitutes, what they would wear, the way they would look. But it doesn't mean to say that just because if everybody wears like what the prostitutes wear, that everybody's going to be slutty. Everybody's going to be that sort of a person. It's just wrong. It's like, it's one of these things that when I used to have really, really long hair, I'd go somewhere and I'd be like buying something, and somebody would think, because of my appearance, that I was going to buy a certain thing in music. And I'm like, but how would you know that? How would you know what I like from the way that I look, as I do now? People are often not knowing what music I like from the way I look. So it's that. And Jonas Brothers film is out. I'm not going to be watching it, but I'm certain enough that there are a few people who are out there who say I should watch it. I don't really watch films that much, but the one thing that I wanted to say was basically somebody on here has basically done a video about the Jonas Brothers, and in the background he's got a version of What I Go to School For, and I just don't know whether I like it as good as Busted. They might prove me wrong, but the great thing about Busted and Jonas Brothers is that they both do rock music with pop music, you know, basically like pop rock. They're not the typical dancey type pop or the sort of boy band, girl band thing that you normally get. They're great bands because they actually play their own instruments and they're able to do something with it. You know, they're able to say, right, we don't want to be totally indie or totally rock or metal, but they want to do that pop rock thing, and that's what they still do with putting in, you know what I mean. And the other thing is, I might have to do a blog about Depeche Mode, because they are one of the best bands in the world, and the reason for that is because it's just come to me about a song that's recently been released for comic relief by the Saturdays called Just Can't Get Enough. Depeche Mode did the original, and I just can't say that I like the Saturday version as much as Depeche Mode. I'm sorry, but what are they doing to a song? I mean, sadly Vince Clarke would have allowed the Saturdays to record it because he wrote the song. Sadly, Depeche Mode, the three-piece now, are going to say, well, I wish they didn't record it, but I personally don't wish they recorded it because I know it's one of them you either love it or hate it songs, and the people who hate it will only like it because it's for comic relief. Well, I like it a little bit, but I would probably play it on the radio if I had a radio station or a show. But when it comes to out of the two versions, you can't beat the best version by Depeche Mode. I'm sorry if you're out there and you prefer the Saturday version or anything like that, but it's like I'm afraid I've said this all along, ever since they were around. No one can cover a Depeche Mode track. I don't care. You can have bands. I mean, anybody can cover anybody's music, but you just can't cover Depeche Mode's music because as far as I'm concerned, it's not right. It's not right. No one can put a stamp on a Depeche Mode track. They are one of the best bands in the world of all time. No one can do any justice to any songs that Depeche Mode ever do. Depeche Mode do it their way, and it will never be as good as. I'm sorry, but it never will be. It won't be. Depeche Mode rock. Anyway, bye for now.